What is up, ladies and gentlemen? CJ the Cheese DJ here, and we're back with another A to Z of Ark for you guys today. And today, guys, we are taking a look at none other than the Megalania. Now, guys, this guy is found on the island, the Center, Scorched Earth, Ragnarok, Extinction, Genesis Part 1, and the Crystal Isles. Now, normally you will find them in caves clinging to the top of the cave ceilings and all that sort of stuff. But these guys actually do spawn out in the open on some maps. For example, on Ragnarok, they will spawn out in the desert section of the map. Genesis Part 1, they will spawn out in the open like this as well. And I'm pretty sure in Scorched Earth they do as well, I believe. No, Scorched Earth is also only in caves. Extinction, they do spawn out in the open though, out on the little leveler bit where all the Megalosauruses are as well. So yeah, you can find these guys out in the open, not just in caves. However, on like the first couple of maps, they are just found exclusively in caves. So guys, in order to tame these guys, you will have to knock them out. They are an aggressive tame. You will need to feed them mutton or extraordinary kibble. Extraordinary kibble obviously being the best source. These guys do have a very high torpor bar though. So, sorry, a very low torpor bar, but their torpor drains very quickly. So once you knock one out, make sure that you do have extra narcotics to keep these guys under, because they will wake up extremely fast. Literally, not even joking, you could go and get some mutton real quick, come back, and they will be awake. They have a very fast torpor drain, faster than even the Spino. And the Spino's got a pretty fast torpor drain. So do keep that in mind. Although I do believe they actually had a buff to their torpor recently. So yeah, they've got that going for them as well. Let's take a look here. You can see that his torpor is draining pretty fast. So you will need to keep that in mind, yeah. But otherwise, extraordinary kibble or raw mutton will feed the Megalania and tame it up. Obviously, your kibble's going to be better, but you can get away with using mutton. So the torpor does drain pretty quickly. You know, if you tamed one of these guys out in the desert on Ragnarok and then proceeded to fly over to the highlands for some mutton, you could very well easily come back and this guy be wide awake and not being able to tame. Well, I mean, you'd have to just knock it out again. That's the only thing. So keep that in mind with these guys, but let's tame one up and we'll go over its abilities. As for its saddle, it is learned at level 73, which seems extremely high. It costs 250 fiber to make, 315 hide, and 45 metal ingots. And it is made in the smithy as well. But once you've got one of these tamed up, you can pretty much climb or get over anything. So these have the same ability as rock drakes. Well, actually, I should say that rock drakes have the same ability as the Megalania, because the rock drake came after the Megalania. This guy can climb over anything. He's got the sticky pad ability where he's able to just walk and climb up anything. Cave ceilings, he can go upside down, he can go vertical. You can see there, we're pretty much upside down there. You can disable this effect by pressing spacebar whenever you want to, and this enables you, like I said, to just climb up anything and everything. So keep that in mind. You can see there, boom. We're just going to scale this entire cliff face with ease. So very similarly to the rock drakes, they have the ability to climb up anything. You can see there we're sitting upside down currently. Now you can use ranged weapons on, well, you can use weapons and ranged weapons on the back of the Megalania. So you can go ahead, lay ambushes for enemy players in PvP if you really wanted to. Tame up dinos off the back of structures or cave walls with the Megalania. You can position these guys around your base on walls and stuff like that and have them drop down onto any enemy raiders that are coming to get you, because these also have the ability to apply rabies, which is super good in PvP because it is spreadable from player to player, and it will lower their health and stamina constantly over, I think it's a 120-second period, and it is transferable. So if they're raiding in a tribe and they come in, they get attacked by a Megalania and it gets applied to them, that rabies effect will pass on to any tribe mates that they've got that come into vicinity of them, and it can just constantly go back and forth between the two of them. So it's a good way to go ahead and deal with some base raiders, and they're pretty good base defense dinos as well because of that unique aspect of them. Now, another cool thing that you can do with the Megalanias is you can also apply that, I believe, to wild dinos. And you can see here that we are doing the attack. So it's only got the primary attack there. It's not able to attack any other way, unfortunately. But and it also lacks quite a bit of melee damage. It doesn't have the greatest amount of melee damage, unfortunately. So it kind of sucks in that regards. But in terms of weight and everything else, it does have a pretty decent amount of weight and stamina that you can use to get around the map. I wouldn't really recommend using it for head-to-head combat though, because you will probably get your butt slammed in. But these guys do look very cool in themselves, like they are very unique and they do look awesome. They also don't take any fall damage as well. So they will not take any fall damage, which is actually super cool. Let's show you guys that. We'll climb up this cliff face again. And we'll get up the top. And yeah, they don't take fall damage. I don't know why that is, but they just don't take fall damage. So we'll get up the top here. But another unique ability that the Megalania has is that it's actually immune to radiation. So on Aberration, if you decide to take one of these guys to the surface instead of like a Rock Drake or something, you can actually get away and use it rather effectively because they are completely immune to radiation. So you can see that we're falling pretty high heights and we didn't take any fall damage. Creative mode is deactivated, so that's not stopping us from taking fall damage. So yeah, these guys are immune to fall damage, which is great. And they're also immune to radiation, so you can take them up onto the surface and farm drops with them. However, they don't naturally spawn on Aberration, so you will need to transfer one in from another map. But a really weird note is that they actually have coding for these guys in the game as it is. They have an aberrant variation, which I don't know if you can actually spawn in or not. We're going to find out here in a second. Yeah, so you can see here, they do have an aberrant variation, which I don't believe is actually in the game. As far as I'm aware, there's no map that has the aberrant variation. There is coding for them, which is why we can summon it in, but they don't have natural spawn points on Aberration, which is pretty strange. But that's pretty much all there is you need to know about the Megalania. There's not really much else. You can take it into caves with you and obviously use it to go for artifacts and stuff like that, but they're not the greatest with their low melee damage. You will come into some trouble with like schools of Onyx and stuff like that if they do try to attack you. But other than that, that's pretty much all you need to know for the Megalanias. So guys, thanks very much for watching this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one.